especially some of the problems with the men. You can't say that the women are causing even some internal problems.
Right.
No, it's the
men.
black woman, the black mother who's causing the problem for the black children by turning them away from their fathers toward her.
The black children.
That's
Right.
right.
So his idea is that black women are causing a problem. I wish my sister was here because I did want her to get in on this too. But let me say this. I've seen women keep their father from their children, and I've seen where the children really rebel. I got a student, and she's had this issue whereby her mother has tried to, she talked bad about the father. And of course the daughter doesn't get it because the mother is trying to protect her from the father, because of course when she was a child, the father, he would never do what he said he was going to do. And so now the mother is angry with the father, and the daughter is angry with the mother because the mother wants to protect.
And that is a learned behavior that you're seeing from certain men. That's a learned behavior. The reason why children want to be around their fathers or they act out when their fathers is not around is because they don't feel protected. They don't feel protected just with their mothers, and they can feel it. Even though they don't understand everything, they can feel that their mother is not totally capable of protecting them from everything they're seeing around them.
Okay, so let me go into that. Thank you for that, and I want to go back to the whole protection thing too. So for me, my mother didn't keep me from my father. She really made it, she made sure I knew who he was, even though he didn't do everything he was supposed to do. But and one of the things that she was very good to do is she wouldn't say anything bad about him around me. Now I can tell she was mad at him. She was mad at him, but I can't, even in my mind, I can't remember her saying anything negative about him. And with my mother, I always felt protected. Only time I didn't feel protected is when there was a man in the house. Now, when she would, I didn't feel protected around them because of him, not because of her. Now, when they weren't around, so you understanding, when he ain't around and he ain't in the house, I felt protected by my mother. But when she allowed a dude in the house, I did not feel protected. So when you say, because of the father wasn't there, it wasn't because the father wasn't there. It was because there was a presence there that was dangerous. I want to make that clear. So what I'm saying to you...
No, I agree. I experienced that myself, the same thing. I can basically say the same thing. But the problem is when a man and a woman are making children with each other, it's unnatural for them to then separate.
That's natural.
No, that's not natural.
No, that is natural. It is natural. I'm going to tell you why. Because males, first of all, I'm going back to nature. See, what we do in this society is not natural. Everything we do in this society is 180 degrees from nature. Mama bear, papa bear, baby bear, that's not natural. Mama, man, woman, child, that's not natural. It's not. So let me be clear on this. When we're talking about other beings in nature, one of the things that in nature you have to do, you got to separate the males from like for example, with a dog. Well, we ain't dogs, Diva. You better pay attention to what the nature is. When a female dog gives birth, they got to separate the male, because what he'll do is fight her and try to hurt the children. Same thing with lions, same thing with elephants. It's always like, even when we're talking about elephants, it's the village. The females take care of the young, not the males. The males go off and do what males do. Whatever they do, they go off and do that. But it's the females that are taking care. That's why when we're talking about a village, what is the village? Grandmama, mama, sister, cousins, aunts, nieces, cousins, girlfriends. That's who the village is, not a male. So when you have a male again...
So where does the male fit in this village?
The male, he's not taking care of the children. He's not taking care of the children. He might really,
No, I know. Where does he fit in? What is his role?
a male has his freedom. A male has his freedom.
Has his freedom?
Freedom to do what males do.
No.
What you gonna do? And if you're
No,
talking
no,
about,
no, we're not. No, we're not. But how we have our freedom if we're slaves to women? We're not.
Did I say? Who said he's a slave? You making up something else in your mind. For me, first of all, if it were me and I got a village, I wouldn't be expecting him to pay no child support. This is me. Which I wouldn't do. But let's say that I decided to lay down with somebody and I get pregnant. I'm not going to expect child support. I'm not. If he wants to be there, then he can be there. You can have visitations. It's not going to be no thing where you keeping the baby overnight. But visitations, whatever. It's not going to be a situation where he's living in the house. That's not going to happen. This is just me. Now I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm talking about me. This is for me.
But I'm not even referring to modern day society because there's a lot wrong right now.
Neither am I.
I'm talking about in our past. In our villages.
In the past,
first got started.
He was not in a village like that. His job was to go out, and sometimes this is one of the things when I do my research on the matriarch, the males, they really didn't deal with their children. They stayed more with their family. So sometimes
I know what they did, but
okay, so
I know what they did. They didn't really the males, once they got a certain age, the males went with their fathers. But they were older once they did that, and they stayed with their mothers. The girls stayed with their mothers. I know that the women were the main teachers in raising the children up. But what I'm saying is, while all of that was going on, men had a role to play, and women gave them that role. That's why men was created. That's why women created males. Our role is do you know how many things out here that will annihilate women if men are not here to protect y'all? You're getting away from protection.
Actually, no, hold on. We're gonna go into that. No, I'm not. We're gonna go back into that. So let me go back here. You just said that the males would go off with their fathers. And so
after a certain age, yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
probably teenage years.
Right, and that's what my research shows. That's natural. That's what's done in nature. So it would be the women who would take care of the children, who would do the feeding and all of that. The males would go off once they get of a certain age, because when they're younger, they got to be protected by the females. But once they get of a certain age, they go off with the other males. So yeah, that's you. I
totally agree with everything you're saying.
So now
there's only one thing I disagree with.
What is that?
The village, when you have all of these women and children in the village, right? The males are not off somewhere twiddling their thumbs. They are protecting the village. Whether it's from a distance, whether it's from, they don't have to necessarily be right in the village around the kids and women all day.
Okay.
But they're somewhere in the area, so if something go down, it go down.
So what?
The men are coming to fight, just like with lions.
Okay, so what
you're comparing us to lions.
Good.
But when you have a pride, when somebody invades territory, the male lion is the one to jump up. If he's under a tree somewhere chilling out, he's the one to jump up and get busy.
Okay, so now what I hear you saying is that they would be in the vicinity in the event that the women needed their help. That's what I hear you say. Okay,
exactly.
Let's pretend. I'm gonna just say let's just pretend like that is the case. All right, so now getting into protection. Now this is what I want to say, because there's a spiritual element to this that we don't recognize as well. All right, and I really need to get in. This is the problem. One of the biggest reasons when we're talking about spirituality, we just don't get it as, especially our brothers have a harder time understanding this spiritual side. So let me say this. Not you. You different.
Time, but go ahead.
You different. You. I promise. I agree that you are totally different. So I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking in general. Okay. So when one of the things when we're talking about the spiritual side, what we don't recognize is that the truth be told, it's the woman that's bringing the danger. I need that to be clear because I get it.
Hold on. Say that again.
It's the woman that's bringing the danger. She can make it disappear and she can make it appear. Not to say that men don't bring their own amount of danger. So I don't want that to be said. But when we're talking about women and spirituality, and I got up on the screen, I need to show the screen where I talk about these two X chromosomes and how she has another spiritual power that's residing in that X chromosome that is dormant. And let me put the dormant one up here. Show the screen. Hold on for a second. Let me get him to show the screen. All right. So when we're looking at this, we see that she's got two X chromosomes. He's got a Y. This whole X chromosome that's dormant, when she taps into it, this thing right here, this is where her spiritual side is. And one of the things we're not recognizing about this dimension is we control it with our energies. And a lot of times women do not even recognize. See, this is why it had to be turned off. Why this had to be turned off? Because she got so much power that, you know how men, you ever dated a woman and then y'all separate or whatever, and all kind of bad stuff start happening to you. You know, the job happened, the car break down, or something crazy. This crazy stuff. Because women,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
women have that power.
I know how to counteract that, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, because women have a power to curse you. And this is the other thing, you know, men be thinking, oh, I got to protect her and all this and other stuff, and I got to get a gun, and half the time she bringing the danger. Y'all going in a club and, you know, baby, he touched my butt. Now you got it. But the deal is she brought the danger. Or she talking trash. So I'm just... Can
I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
And just say something. All right, so now we basically saying the same thing. The only thing is that you're missing is that in the beginning, because I'm not even talking about modern day currently right now. I'm not even up there yet. Back in the days when males were first created, and that danger. So we was talking about a village, right? That danger was coming from males that was raised by other women outside of that village. So just like you have men in your village, there's men in all of the villages all around the world, just like it is right now. You have men and women everywhere, but there's mostly women because women started everything, right? So you're going to have males that are going to be sent by the women in their village to come do harm, kill, rape, pillage, whatever, to this village. How are they going to be protected if it's not from the men in their own village?
I'm going back to this spiritual side, and I get it. You're going to say, no, but the spirit ain't going to... Okay, we're looking at this chart right here. I'm turning this thing back on, and I get it. This side is like, no, we need a gun. We need a knife. I'm going to tell you right now, you can get all the bullets you want. You can get all the knives and guns you want. But when you're spiritually sound, and I get it, y'all, it's like, I don't believe that. Okay, do what you need to do, but I'm letting you know, when you spiritually sound, you make the danger disappear. You don't need a gun, knife, and all this other stuff. And again, as I said, just like you said, women brought this stuff. If you ask me, now I get it, this man blaming it all on the woman, I agree. It's the woman's fault, because when the woman gets in her right mind, people like him disappear. Danger disappears, because who did I just say?
I understand what you're saying.
Who did and I'm going to go back to this, so thank you for bringing this up. But I just ran a whole line of of statistics, and Diva Marie didn't make any of them up, but 85% of the actual molestations of children and the violence against women and children and murders and crime and all of that, 85% of the perpetrators are males. Who created them males? Because 100% of them came from a woman. So if you asking me,
listen, I do a lot of research, and what I've realized is when I looked at serial killers from all around the world, one thing they have in common is they all had crazy mothers.
Thank you.
Who raised them in a crazy way.
Thank you.